Hello and welcome to Take a Beat. My name is Tirza and I'm the digital pastor here at IES. And welcome to Missions Month.
Yay.
And I am here with the brains behind the missions operation. So we have Kamlesh over here. Hello.
Hello.
And also if you did the 6 weeks of living on purpose, every single weekend when we go to service, we have a bumper video and it's Kamlesh's face on there. We have Gary over here.
Hi.
And Volta.
Hello.
So, are you excited about Missions Month?
Very excited.
Ready.
Ready? Okay, so we wanted to talk about missions a little bit. Last week, PD, I sat with PD and I asked PD about, okay, why is missions so entrenched in IES? But now we kind of wanted to know, what do we do in missions? What are all of the different things or different ways IES does missions? And so first things first, what's your role in the missions department? What do you do and how did you get into this? I'll start with you since you're piercingly looking at me.
So I'm the finance and operations manager of the church. I handle the accounts and the finances. So Volta is in touch with all the partners, and so what we do is that Volta gets in touch with them, see what they need for next year, and get the figures out to me, and then between him and me, we just compile something very rough, and then we talk to Gary, and together again we brainstorm and see what's good, what's not good, what needs to be taken out, and then eventually prepare something that is more final, which we can throw it out to the mission committee for them to approve.
Okay.
That's one part. The next part is when they are doing their stuff, there are certain portions where I will need some kind of accountability from them, in a sense that the money that we send them, they're doing it properly.
And these are the partners,
they're the partners. They are properly documented. And if it comes to just pictures, it goes through Volta and all that. But if there are paperwork involved, then it's me to look through it and see that they are doing the right things.
Gary, how about you?
I've been involved in missions since a long time ago. I began by helping out with the designs for missions. At the time, Katie was the missions director, and I was doing every missions month and serve the city, the design, the display, and everything. But then when Katie stepped down, Pastor Dave asked me to help to become the chairperson for the missions committee. So I will become the person who communicates between the missions team and the committee, and I arrange the meeting. I coordinate between us and the program and everything.
Yeah, and I mean, you're such a creative person. I have seen all through. If even we, I think about all of the missions month and all of the different serve the cities. I think we've had. What's your most memorable missions month display?
Oh, for me it's streams last year.
Okay. the one that where I wasn't here for it. Okay. I think for me, what was it? Yeah. Where everyone got seed packets.
Yeah, the seed campaign.
Yes,
yeah.
I tried planting the seeds.
It doesn't work.
Doesn't work. But a lot of the teens at that point, I was the teens pastor. A lot of the teens they're like, oh, I grew basil. I was like, oh, good for you. How about you? Which one of the missions?
I don't know. I see it differently because
sees the budget.
I don't see the budget, but I see that every mission team has their own unique way of conveying a message. So I enjoyed the streams. I enjoyed the one that the construction, but I cannot say that the streams was better than this or this is better than the streams, because the message is conveyed was totally very different, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Kamlesh. Like this year's theme is actually to mark one of our new projects, right? But
Which is
we
can talk about it later.
yeah, we will talk about it later. But which is the house building projects,
Okay.
and with the words building, I got an idea that we're not just building a physical house, but when we build a house for somebody, or in terms of mission, that we are helping other people, that we're not just helping them physically, but we also are building their hearts.
Yeah. I like that. And I mean, if you're not at IES, you should come, and this is the best month to come and visit IES, because we like our commons area is just transformed. There's a lot of like, I think you had like hard hats and different things. We have had visitors come in and they're like, what's going on here? So Volta, what do you do?
Yeah, like Pak Kamlesh said, I'm the mission coordinator. I think my role is more like I'm the bridge between the missions partner and missions team. So, what I do is like I figure it out what their needs, what can we help them to have the better ministry, and so I will discuss with the team, with Pak Kamlesh, with Gary, and with the mission committee.
Yeah. So PD also talked about the missions committee, and you also mentioned the missions committee. What is the missions committee? What do they do? How do you select them? Who selects them? Like all of these things are actually things that I would like to know.
Actually, missions committee is the decision maker of the missions.
Okay.
So they have to vote to pass the budget, the annual budget, or they have to vote for any requests we have within the year.
Because it's because I think PD mentioned this last week, but missions budget and the ministry operations budget for
It's
is
completely
different. It's very
different
different,
account.
right?
Yes.
Different, yes.
Yeah.
So the committee kind of
Committee is like the deacons for the missions.
got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So what happens is that we have a deacon board, right? Out of the deacon board, there are several deacons that are specially
Assigned.
called the stewardship committee, that assigned
Especially
to see
assigned
to look at me.
agents.
And there is a church committee, church building committee, and there is part of them that have been assigned to the mission. So these are coming to the mission committee, and these deacons would then recommend a few other people that they will think that they are quite active and have a heart for mission.
Got it.
And so these names are then collected, and we would approach them, and if they would say yes, then we would take them in.
Okay.
And this is a period of 1 year, and it would basically change.
So the term is a year, or is it more than a year? Because like deacons are like 3 years, right?
Every deacon has 3 to 1, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year.
Yes.
Okay.
So if one of the rotations happen to hit the one of the mission committee deacons, then they would be replaced by the new deacon that
Okay.
takes their place.
Okay.
But the mission committee that has been chosen or recommended by the deacons, they are changed every year.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, if a deacon's their term expires, then they want to stay on the missions committee, they also can.
Oh wow.
But
okay.
they become the non-deacons committee.
Yeah.
So at any given time in a year, there's always 4 deacons from the deacons as a missions committee, and 4 from the non-deacons.
But in voting, the 4 deacon commissions and the 4 non-deacon commission is equal.
Cool.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And the idea for 4 people in the deacon board, in the mission board, so if we have a deacon meeting and there is an issue raised about mission or anyone who wants to know about mission, they can hear it from the deacon board.
Okay, and because they are involved and they understand what's going on.
Yes,
right?
and actually they can ask our mission pastor, that is Pastor Dave.
Mr. Dave.
How many of them? 8, right? 8.
In the beginning of 2022, we start with 9.
9.
Okay.
But now we have 8.
Okay. So because they function as like the deacons and they help like provide transparency and accountability for the missions budget. So how does finances get processed? Like, because we at IES does like exit offerings or things for like relief and things like that. How does the money get processed if it's also different from how we're running this place?
Kamlesh will know the detail about the financial, but I will answer about the exit offerings. Exit offering is what we call dedicated offering, designated giving.
Okay.
So if an exit offering is designated for Morocco, it will only be dispersed for Morocco projects.
Okay.
So it's completely different from the missions yearly budget
Got
that
it.
we have already planned. And Kamlesh can explain the detail.
That's the only thing he's going to cover.
So basically, to be more technical, Pastor Dave informs the congregation, and the congregation starts sending in money, and we sort it out. I mean, we look at all the bank accounts, because a lot of people send, they just send it and they just put a message, this is for Morocco, and they can send to any account. So we just sort that out to make sure. We prepare an Excel sheet. We make sure that we know what has come in. And again, it's always Pastor Dave who has the contacts and gets the contacts of the AG partners who will say, okay, we are here, we're in the field, this is what we need. Whatever you have, you can send it to this account number.
Yeah.
We never send to personal account numbers.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
It's always Assemblies of God, churches or World Mission. And so once you send it to them, they go, do their work, and then they would come back with pictures about how they have helped these people.
I think that's good. Well,
That's for the exit offerings.
Yeah.
Yes.
But for the normal budget, it's like I said, every year a budget gets approved, and we inform our partners. We send them every month.
Yeah.
Volta makes sure that it gets sent at a particular time, either the end of the month or beginning of the month, depending on the type of missions. And then once it's done, basically before the year end, we would approach the partners again and ask them, hey, can you submit your budget for next year?
okay.
What is it that you need, this, that, and
Is there a system where the partners also talk to you about, okay, this is all of the things that we've done, kind of like present an accountability of, okay, this is what we've done with the money that we've requested.
Yeah, our partner like send a report about their ministry to me first, and I will sharing to our mission team or the mission committee.
Got it.
Like this is the newsletter from our missionaries that we support, and this is the report from our partners. Or maybe when I went to the outreach things, I will send the pictures to the missions committee WhatsApp group.
if it's something to do with building, it's more easier because, again, they show us what has been built.
Yeah.
If we send the money and nothing has been built, then we know it's...
Yeah.
And to be more detailed about how the budget came about, actually because every year we already have a certain budget, right? So those budget actually comes from each partner giving us a proposal. In the beginning, if it's a new partner, they would propose, give us a proposal about their project or their something that they want to do, and then we approved it, and then we compile all the data together, and then that becomes our yearly budget.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So how many partners do you have right now?
We have a lot of partners. I think more than 20 partners.
Oh, wow.
around
Okay.
And I think 10 of them we have collaborate with them for more than 5 years, I think.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we have like the communities, the that I know have been more
Yeah.
than 5 years. Our partners in like
We
trash community
since
and things like that.
UOB or Staco days, I think.
That's actually how I measure time. I
Yes,
don't measure
yes.
time based
Yes.
on like how many years
Yes.
ago. I measure time based on
and on where we
we-
are having service.
Yes, like is it TCC? Is it when we were nomadic in City Walk, or when we were in UOB or Staco or pre-Staco?
Yeah. Realize it or not, UOB has been like 4 years ago there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we moved out of UOB
Yeah.
4 years ago, and then
I remember.
we moved it like 2000.
And then we went into amnesia for 2 years because
Yeah.
everything like it's a haze.
Yes.
Things happening so different, and now we're settling in again. So yeah.
Yes. So with the partners, I know like PD mentioned about like he loves all of the partners, but the one that's pretty near and dear to his heart is orphanage ministry because he started it. And so for you guys personally, is there one that you're like, oh, that's like speaks to me?
Yeah. Well, for me personally, like orphanage ministry have a special heart in me because that's the first ministry that I'm doing when I joined this
Okay.
church. Yeah, because my friend from Life Group, Life Group is important. Invite me to join the orphanage ministry, and when I went there, they shocked because I'm very connected with the kids.
Okay.
Why? Because most of them from East Indonesia. So I'm
So
easily,
you're like my people?
it's my brothers, my sister, and after that I joined regularly as a volunteer, and after that I becoming like what it called core team, orphanage core team. So, but I'm still working at.
A different place.
Yeah, at different places as company. And one of the things that when I struggle about my calling, I remember like orphanage things like that. So I think that's what I start.
Okay.
Okay, I think the first volunteer event that I joined was back when I was in Young Adult Fellowship. It was
This is
2005. 2005.
This is taco days, right?
Yeah, it's Taco Days. So it was my first time joining. It's a Habitat for Humanity house build, but at that time they still do demolition.
Oh, okay.
So I demolished somebody's house.
Okay.
So
But
it
that
was-
sounds like fun.
Stress relief.
Yes.
It was fun, and it's actually interesting that we are starting another project also for Habitat Humanity.
Actually, before we move to Kamlesh and the program that's dear to his heart, how about we talk about that one, because that kind of informs also the Building Hearts theme. So, if you can give us a sneak peek, like what are we planning to do with them?
Well, let me share. It's related to the 2005 volunteer event that I did. Okay. We volunteer there, and then when we come, and then we drive with our cars, several cars from the Young Adult Fellowship team, right? So when we about to reach the village that we're doing, it's not the same village with the one we're doing now, but when we about to reach there, some of the people needs to go to the toilet. Okay, so they were thinking that, okay, let's just ask the villagers, let us borrow your toilet.
Yeah.
And then we stopped in front of several houses. This house was already built in concrete. So we were expecting there's a toilet
The
inside.
assumption is
Yeah,
that
yes,
there's a
yes.
working toilet. Okay.
So, and then
know where this is heading.
when we spoke to the house owner, we are asking, can we borrow? Can we use your toilet? And he said, oh, that's a toilet. He was pointing to the yard in front of his house, and there's just this cubicle made of bamboo webbing, and then you just need to go there. and the women that was in the team, okay, I will hold it until whenever. So that was 2005.
Yes.
And then we did the survey May this year. So we visited there, and then when we were guided along the houses, and we asked, oh, so if we gonna rebuild the house, which one we will start? And the government official take us to this house where there's only one lady in the house because the husband is working and the daughter, I think, is in school. And then look at the house and everything, and I realized there's no toilet inside the house. So 2005,
Like deja vu.
that's 18 years.
Yeah.
That's 18 years, okay? So actually, these people still don't have toilets in their house. So I asked, where do you have to go to when you want to do your business? And then she said that, oh, we go to that pond. And I usually go at night. And the government official also explained that, yes, they need to go to that pond where we park our cars. It's about 500 meters away from the house.
Oh, wow.
So there is a lot of needs
Yeah.
for these villagers, right? It's not just one area, but a lot of area actually meet a proper living condition.
Things that we might take for granted.
Yes,
we can
yes.
just walk over to
Yes.
the restroom. There's a lot of we have choices which restroom we want to use.
And another thing about the house, the standard house that Habitat built, it always have 2 rooms. Do you know why?
Why?
Because when you have 2 rooms, it will prevent incest. Because when parents sleeping in the same room with their young kids, there's a big chance that will happen.
Wow.
So that's the standard for Habitat's house. 2 rooms, 2-bedroom houses, have a kitchen area, have a toilet inside. They installed a septic tank, and it's built with concrete.
And that's a real need. And the things that we take for granted, not having to walk 500 meters to go to the restroom,
Yeah,
and not having to go to the restroom in the middle of the night.
yeah.
So, Kamlesh, how about you? With out of the partners, is there any which one that you're oh, that's near and dear to my heart?
Actually, I can't because every time I look at them and try to evaluate the proposal, I have to stay everyone is important.
Yeah.
And it kinds of get to me to a point where I see everything is important.
Yeah.
And when you are evaluating things, you tend to ask questions. Why do you have this? Why do you have this? And then you get to the heart of it that these partners really need our help.
Yeah.
There are things that maybe I see that we cannot just inform every detail to the congregation.
Yeah.
But when you see that, you see in the area, they're asking help not because they want to manipulate anything. They need help because they really need help.
Yeah.
And so, which one is my favorite? I don't have any favorites.
Hosanna School.
They know. I like Hosanna School because Hosanna Schools,
In Bogor, right?
they are very, very careful in asking for funds.
Yes, we really appreciate that.
So they're like, do you want this? No, we already saved up and we did it ourselves.
Oh, wow,
okay, so
okay.
if you need it, don't worry. There's Volta, there's me.
You can ask Volta.
But if I may add, for me, when I joined as mission coordinator, my first assign is go to Suku Anak Dalam. And I have no experience about that. And I asked PD, what should I do when I went there? And PD give me simple answer, just build relations. So it's echoing me that, when we working with our partner, the missionaries, we want to build the relations with them like that. So we don't positioning ourselves higher than them, but okay, we want to build relation, and like Pak Kamlesh said, that everyone matters.
Yes, true.
And that's the whole idea of partner, right?
Yes.
Like you walk side by side with someone on
That's
a journey.
correct.
It's not like you're way better and then you're like it's not a different. I think I like that. So question, has there been any like memorable moments, memorable things that happen with like either outreaches or partners or different things in missions? Because some of these stories, like maybe we talk about like in the staff or just in passing, but some of the congregation have never heard some of these like memorable stories. For me, this is not my story, but one of the most memorable ones was involving Katie Cannon and chickens in Chilinching, because she was deathly afraid of chickens. But so like any memorable ones for you?
I think I remember this story when I joined as a volunteer at Serve the City. I think there's a Be a Coach program, because I love soccer so much, and I joined with Ageta and Fabio. And after the training, we train the kids about soccer and futsal. But we don't just training. We don't just train them. We don't just teach them soccer, but we give them value like that. So I always remember this thing, like when Fabio said, like, okay, imagine this ball is a chance. You play soccer, but you don't play by yourself. You need to share this ball to your team. Imagine this ball is a chance. So you share a chance to your teammate. And I reflect that, like, okay, in my heart, I always say that as a Christian, I have Christ in my heart. But if I don't share to other people, it's God not call me to be a one man person. I need to work together with them, with partners like that. So that's impact me. So I think
Spoken like a true mission.
yeah, like that. So
Like you, any memorable moments from good ones or funny ones?
I think I forgot what year when Katie asked me to film some of the projects. And I was filming in Chilinching. I was filming the school activity and then filming all the area. And one thing that is memorable to me is how happy the children are. I mean, they are living in a trash-dump community, but they can be very happy. And when they finish their school, and I can see their parents are waiting outside their classroom to pick them up, and I shot them walking away from the school, like they were skipping their all the way with their parents holding hands. And I think when we work in a community like that, we can see the impact. I mean, we heard all this news that from this PAUD that we raise and we help. The graduates from this PAUD is actually doing very well in other schools. Then they have to enter to kindergarten and go to primary school. They are doing very well, and that's something to be proud of.
Most of the memorable moments are behind the desk looking at the reports and saying, why did they do this?
And then calling Volta.
Actually, not Volta. I have to share with Gary first. Because, of course, Volta is there, yes. But then, but it's interesting. It is a ministry that, I mean, when I share this, the thing that comes to my mind is the body of Christ. It's like we are many body, we are many parts. One looks to be like more important than the other, but if one part does not function, then nobody functions. So it's like, yes, I'm behind the desk. I'm here. By the way, I really plan that this November I will be in all of the. I need to go out and just see it because I find that it's like.
So maybe we should do an interview with him afterwards to see what his experience is.
No, I think actually Kamlesh's role here is very important.
Yeah.
Because with every partner we emphasize on accountability, right? So how do we find out about accountability issues?
Yes.
It comes from him. He knows the numbers. He knows when it doesn't make
Doesn't
sense.
match up.
Yeah, and then we can find out which partner is doing very well and which one is not. So
And that is a founding value of IES,
Yes.
accountability.
yes,
And I realize also that I have to be in the field also just to have an
Yes.
idea that if they say this is happening, I can imagine, oh yeah, this is happening here or
Yeah.
there. And of course, my first trip was to Hosanna School, in which, oh, this is what we build, this is what we build, this is what you plan to build, this is this. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, well, everything matches. So,
yeah,
Praise the Lord.
yeah.
So this is actually a good kind of segue. How can the people of IES, the people who are watching this conversation, how can they be involved in missions?
Okay, they can join as a volunteer. As
Why did you sound so shy about it? Please join as a volunteer.
Please
But how,
join.
like how? Like, do they have to prep anything? Do they have to talk to you? Can we,
No,
can
I
we
think-
display Volta's phone number?
Yeah.
I think like many of the people that have like Volta who's involved in missions as a missions coordinator now, he started as a volunteer for orphanage and Sports for Life.
That's right. That's right.
So the first thing that you can do is join a ministry, experience it firsthand.
Yeah.
And for those, we communicate this every year in Missions Month. There are 3 ways that you can support missions. First is prayer. Second is your time. You can join a ministry. And third is your funding, your financial, your resources. It's not just money, but when we have certain project, a lot of people donated toys for the orphanage, books for the schools, or those kind of resources. I mean,
Kids Church is even doing
that,
Something.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you would talk about donations, like we've had cases in which we wanted to drop in some supplies for the prison ministry, and somebody said, okay, what do you need? We need Indomies, we need coffee, we need soap and shampoo and all that. And they say, okay, we'll prepare and send it across. And there are times where we need to do it. Usually it is on Easter. And then there's another that was 17th of August, and we wanted to do something for them, and we didn't have the person, but we had the funds.
Yeah.
And so just coordinated, and we had the Indomies and everything just dropped off to them. So a lot, like when we had this chili thing, when we were renovating, we were helping them renovate. A lot of people just sent in supplies,
materials.
the Hosanna School and materials, the roofing materials, and sometimes the paint, and they were even trying to help provide a new pump for the well that they had. But at the end, we evaluated, and the well was not a good source. It's in Chilinching, it was totally contaminated, and so we helped them go to pump and make a new connection to their house. So there's a lot of things.
Yeah. So those 3 things. First, pray. Is there a way that people can pray this month?
Oh yeah, you can join. You can join at.
That's a very leading question.
You can contact Pastor Tirza. You can join the digital 30-day
30-day prayer for
Yeah.
missions.
Yeah, we
And
pray.
then-
We pray for all of our missions partners, unreached people groups, and missionaries that we support, like that. So.
very leading question. I'm so proud. The second is to join. how many, because I saw the signups, how many opportunities to volunteer is there in the next like month or two?
Around 10, 11.
I think you will find out in the displays. We will put the QR code of every events that you can sign up for. But if it's full, Volta will take down the QR code.
Yes,
So
yes.
I think there's more than 6 or 8. I think
Yeah.
it's about that much. But this weekend we will have a booklet for all the ministries, and as usual you can check out all the ministries, but for signups you have to come to the booth.
Got it. And to give. I love how it's like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, to give.
Yeah,
If
to
you
give.
want to give to mission,
You can go to our website, IES Jakarta, go to the givings page, and it's very clear. You have the account numbers. Or if you're sitting in church, when Pastor Dave's video comes out, in front of you, you will have a small giving pamphlet that you have missions and ministry. So just take up your phone, you can transfer directly, or you can just have your QR code. Shoot it, it takes you to another landing page, fill in the amount,
yeah.
and it's as simple as that.
Wow. Okay. So we are going to challenge all of you to pray, to join, and to give.
Yes.
And come to IES and look at the display. Great job, Gary. And
Thank you.
figure out for yourself how you can be involved in missions. So that's about the time that we have for today. Thank you so much, Kamlesh, Gary, and Volta for joining me and explaining all about missions at IES. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next week for another episode of Take a Beat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.